Hello, Shenandoah Art students. Today we're going to learn about value. We started with the first three elements of design: line, shape, and form. Today we're going to learn about value. Okay? Line, remember we define that as a mark with direction. Remember, that can be a horizontal line, a vertical line, a curving line, any kind of line. And then a shape that's two-dimensional. It's a closed line. We had two kinds of shapes: organic and geometric. Organic shapes are things like fruits and vegetables, things you find in the grocery store. So circles, ovals, things that are flowery in shape. Where geometric are shapes that are going to be like man-made, so triangles, squares, rectangles, and so forth. Form, this is the illusion of 3D. Okay, we worked with perspective, drawing cubes, and then we drew 1 point and 2 point. Okay, it's the illusion because it's not just flat, or it is flat, but it appears to be three-dimensional. Okay, now value, that's going to refer to the light and the dark in a painting or drawing. So the light or dark in a drawing or painting. Okay. There's this thing called a drawing scale, and it can have lots of different sections. This one only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The first one's going to be white. Next one's going to be slightly darker. Next one's a little bit darker, and then even darker. Let's see if I can go that dark with my pencil. And the last one would be black. So that's a scale. Okay? And then I have this thing called a value gradation. This is the gradual change from, light to dark. Okay, it's a fade. So that's like if I'm drawing here, I'm pressing hard, and then I'm going and I fade off to nothing. Okay, that's a fade, a gradation. Okay, so first four elements of design. Next, I'm going to show you 5 different ways to shade. Hatching is using lines, and we still want to get value, so I can come in and I can add lines that are kind of far apart, and then as it gets darker they're going to get closer together, and then I'm going to press harder as well. Okay, but I want this circle to look like it has form, and if I come in and I draw straight lines, it's going to look very flat still. Okay, I'm going to first put a light source here, so it's hitting my circle there. I want it to look like a sphere when I'm done. So my shadow would be over here. So I'm going to start by adding really dark lines. Kind of going back and forth. I can kind of put them real close together. And then I'm going to start to pick up my pencil pressure, and I'm not pressing as hard until it disappears. Okay, if I need to, I can come back, I can add some more lines going in the same direction, kind of fade them out a little bit more. Okay, now if I have a light source here and I have a ball here, down here I'd add a shadow also done in hatching using lines. This shadow is called my cast shadow. Okay, all lines. The next shading technique is called cross hatching. Same thing as hatching. Pretty much, if my light source is here again, beautiful sun. I'm going to add lots of lines, just like I did before. And they're going to get lighter, but this time I can come in and go different directions. And I'm still curving my lines because I still want that to look like a gradation of form. I want it to look like a ball when it's done. I don't want to put straight lines. Okay, the curved lines help it look like a sphere. Same with my cast shadow. I can come in and hatch it, go different directions. Might be darker out of the sphere and then it fades out. The next example is stippling. And stippling is using dots. So I would put a bazillion dots down low in the dark area. I'm not going to add a bazillion, but you kind of get it. And then as it gets closer to my light source, I'm going to start to fade it out. Only put a couple up there. Okay? Of course, you would go all the way around. And same thing with the shadow. But it'd be really boring to watch me do this for half an hour. Okay? The next one is scribble. And that's the same thing. But this time I'm going really crazy. So my sun's hitting here, so my light spot's here, my dark side's here. So I'm going to go crazy and I'm going to scribble. And I'm pressing really hard and going lots of random lines. I don't want to just go round and around. So I'm pressing hard. And as I get closer to my light source, I'm going to lift my pencil up so it's really light. I can come back in here if I need to. Work on my gradation. Okay, kind of cool. And then my cast shadow would also be a form of scribble. Okay. All right, so there's 4 shading techniques. On the back, I have 6 shapes. I'm going to attach this file to my Google Classroom. If you do not have a printer, just draw some of these shapes out on a piece of paper and then shade them like I'm showing you. Okay? All right. So this time I'm going to use my pencil. I'm going to come in. First, I guess I should decide where my light source is going to be. I'm going to have it there. So it's hitting that side of my sphere. I'm going to come in, and a wood pencil I find works the best because you can kind of get a flat edge of your pencil. We're going to do some shading and blending like a lot of artists use. I should try to stay in the lines. I'm kind of at a weird angle. If you could see me videoing this, you'd laugh. So I'm coming in here, kind of pressing dark, trying to avoid any pencil lines. And now I'm starting to fade up a little bit. Okay. Still trying to avoid those lines. All right. And now what I want to do is I want to take a tissue or something that I can blend with. Okay, a tissue, a paper towel, even a piece of toilet paper would work. Okay, and what I do is I fold it over my finger like this, and then I twist it towards my thumb, and then I hold it in my palm like this. And this creates a nice little pointy area. Okay, just make sure if you use a tissue it doesn't have lotion or anything in it. You don't want it to get greasy on your paper. Now I'm going to start to blend, and I'm going to blend right here in the darker area first. And I'm pressing and I'm pushing and rubbing in little circles. Oops.
Teachers, if you need help updating your plan book links on your website,
sorry about
I'm
this.
in the library to show you how to do that.
All right. Well, I'm good at that already. All right, so I'm rubbing, and as I get to this white area, I'm barely touching my paper. Okay, I want to keep it kind of light. And then I can go back and I can fix anything I need to. Like if it didn't blend out, I need a little bit darker. Okay, and then I can rub it a little bit more. And then when it looks all nice and pretty, I'm going to erase all the extra junk that I don't need. Okay. And then I'm going to create my cast shadow. Same thing, a tissue or a piece of toilet paper or something at the bottom. I'm going to blend. Alright, so see how that kind of looks like it's jumping off the page? And what does that is I have a black area and it fades to my gray area and then it fades to my pure white area. If I don't have black, gray, and white in between, it's going to look a little flat or what we call muddy. Okay, so we need to make sure that you press really hard down here and then you fade it and you leave that white. The white is just as important as the black area. Okay. All right, I'm going to show you how to do one more. I'm going to show you how to do this one right here. The rest, I'm going to let you figure out how to shade them on your own. So this one is like a piece of paper that's maybe wavy like this. Okay, so if I have a light source down here and it's coming this way, it might hit the edge of the paper, so keep it real bright here, which means on the back here it might be kind of dark, and then it's going to fade this way. Okay, and then it's going to be real bright, but down here in the valley, it's going to be really dark. But it's going to fade up as it climbs up the paper. And same thing on this side. Okay, got a little something there. Alright, so come in with my trusty Kleenex. I'm going to start to rub here. I'm going to kind of go up and down. So I got a nice black and white fade there. And then in the middle here, it's going to crawl up the paper. Okay, on both sides. Again, I'm going to clean up my extra stuff on the outside. Okay, and now I need to find my cast shadow. If my paper is up like that, may mean my shadow is directly under my paper here. And it might be pretty dark. It might not fade out. Alright, see how now it looks like it's jumping off my paper? Alright, this is for Monday, and Tuesday we'll start something else.